Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dipendra, and I welcome you all on the behalf of Creative Edge. Well, in this video, we shall be talking or discussing UCEED's 2022's question paper. Well, not exactly the entire question paper, but majorly the questions which you believe are prone to be challenged. Basically, the types of the questions which you believe could be correct, क्योंकि UCEED gives you this, basically the opportunity with the help of which you can simply challenge the questions which you believe are incorrect suggested by UCEED. So, the simple modus operandi will be following that you keep mentioning the question number as per the draft answer key provided by UC 2022. I repeat, do not refer to the response key you have received. Response sheet is your response sheet. Refer to the draft answer key, the draft question paper which has been provided to you by UCEED authorities or UCEED's website. As per that question paper, I shall be addressing the questions, or we shall be discussing the questions. So start writing or start mentioning in whichever question you believe or you feel has problem. I repeat, आपको जिस भी question में लगता है that this particular question can be challenged, बहुत सिंपल सा स्टैंडर्ड सा प्रोसेस है. आप उसे कमेंट में नंबर लिखेंगे, बट क्वेश्चन नंबर जो हम स्टैंडर्ड रेफर करेंगे वो यूसी ने जो क्वेश्चन पेपर, जो ड्राफ्ट क्वेश्चन पेपर अपलोड किया है, हम उस पेपर को रेफर करेंगे. सेकंड, द मेथड ऑफ चैलेंजिंग द क्वेश्चन इज pretty simple. UCEED की वेबसाइट पे there is this website or rather Gmail ID or a mail ID mentioned. You simply need to write a mail to these authorities while mentioning your registered ID. Whichever roll number, whichever enrollment number you had received, that enrollment number you need to mention in the mail while writing the mail to the UCEED authorities. Along with that, you just mention the question number followed by the screenshot of the question which you believe should be challenged. And along with that, you just need to write that what do you feel should be correct, should be the correct answer to the question according to you. The same kinds of question we shall be addressing or discussing in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. I shall be discussing OK, Sky, Potter, Hub. I will be addressing question number 5. But before that, let me discuss question number 1 as well, because I had received it as a query from one of the students that yes, there should be more number of, surfaces this figure should have had. So if I were to solve this question, let's quickly get started with this. I hope you all can see this. We are given a solid square. Just give me a second, everyone. And this pyramid has triangular cutouts that pass through and through as shown in the figure. Then, how many surfaces are there in the resultant solid? That's the question. Question is pretty simple, everyone. Okay, Sky, Potter, Hub, whichever mechanism they have developed this year, use that. Now, if you know the process this year, put it in the chat box. Sky, Potter, Hub. Now, continuing further, अगर एक बहुत ही simple सा pyramid है, so in this pyramid, what I'll do is, सबसे पहले the outer 4 surfaces. Which 4 surfaces I'm talking about? 2. These kind of surfaces. 2. These kind of surfaces. 4. And the bottom layer. So 5 surfaces I would be seeing there. Now, apart from that, you need to imagine that this particular hole or this particular shape has been drilled not just in this direction, but perpendicular to this in this direction as well, from the side view as well. So, are you realizing this kind of shape would have created here, and not just that, एक HC के perpendicular one more shape would have been created here in that manner. I hope you are able to imagine this, what I'm trying to convey through this drawing, right? So this kind of a shape has gotten created. What you need to understand or realize is that this plus shape, whatever has created here, that shape will have the same base. It will have the same base, and hence since it has the same base, should I say that base wala surface should be counted or considered as one continuous regular surface. But apart from that, when you continue further, ध्यान से देखेंगे सब लोग. See, this has 2 surfaces here, this has 2 surfaces here, these kind of 2 surfaces, I hope you're realizing. This has 2 surfaces here and this has 2 surfaces here. So each of them have gotten 2 surface each, which means 8 surfaces are here. So 5 plus 8, and this one continued surface or base will make another 13th surface. Sorry, 14, because 8 plus 5 is clearly 13. 13 plus 1 should be 14. And hence the answer to this question would be 14. That's brilliant, everyone. I am constantly reading the chat box. So avoid writing much unnecessarily, because in that case I will lose the track of the questions which we are supposed to discuss. So now I am receiving that question number 5 needs to be discussed. Sure, let's scroll towards question number 5, everyone, and let's straight away discuss that. I believe this again was a very easy question, as I have received the feedback from one of our students. So let's get started, everyone. Straightforward question it is. Let's try and solve this. Perform the following steps. I hope the fonts are readable and it's visible to everyone. If it is not, let me zoom it in, everyone. I hope it's properly visible to all the participants now. Now, in this question, we are clearly asked to perform certain steps. What are those steps? Pay attention, everyone. Start with x as 1 and y as 2. So we are taking certain values of x, which is 1, and we are taking another value of y, which is clearly 2. Now, replace x by x multiplied by y. So what we need to do is that x को आपको replace करना है by multiplying it by y. So x needs to be updated as xy. X is 1, y is 2. So now the value of x should clearly be 2. I hope that much part is clearly understood by everyone. Then, what are we told in the third step? Replace y by y plus 1. So y was 2. So y plus 1. So 2 plus 1 will make y ka updated value as 3. I hope this much part is clearly understandable. Then, if y is 5, then go to step 6. Otherwise, go to step 5. Clearly, y is 3 right now. And if y is 3 right now, shall I say I need not go to step 5? I need not go to step 6. I will be going to step 5. Now, step 5 says go to step 2. Now, if I go to step 2, what am I done, or what am I asked to do here? In step 2, you're simply supposed to replace x by x multiplied by y. Now, this x needs to be replaced by 3 into 2, because y is now 3, x is 2. So, 3 into 2 is clearly 6. Then, replace y by y plus 1. So, when you replace y by y plus 1, this is clearly going to be 4. I hope you realized कि क्योंकि मुझे y की वैल्यू 5 चाहिए, तभी जाकर I would be able to stop this operation, क्योंकि step 6 पर जाने का तरीका वही है. Shall I say one more time I need to do it? And one more time when you need to increase y by 1, clearly y 5 तब होगा जब next step में अब वापस x और y को multiply करेंगे, और तब x और y होंगे 6 into 4 24. I hope this question is clearly been understood by you all. All you need to do is keep multiplying x and y while beginning with x का value 1 and y का value 2, and you keep incrementing y का value, जैसे 2 3 4 तब तक जब तक y 5 नहीं हो जाता, और तब तक जो भी ये y की वैल्यूज अपडेट हो रही हैं उनके साथ x की इस अपडेटेड वैल्यू, x is nothing but x into y, ये प्रोडक्ट लेते चले जा रहे हैं. So finally the value of x is going to be 6 into 4, which is 24, which I believe was quite an easy question. I hope everyone must have understood that. Okay, so some students are writing their queries in the chat box. That's brilliant, everyone. Now, apart from that, yes, 59th and 68th question we'll discuss, but after question number 5. I hope there are no further doubts. Let me just see, shall we discuss some other questions as well? I don't think any questions from this sheet are to be discussed. I believe all the questions from this sheet are also discussed properly. So let's keep scrolling it. Let's discuss this question from geometry. I believe a lot of students found it difficult to solve this question. I hope this question is properly visible to all the participants. If not, look at the screen, everyone. This will solve together. This wasn't a very tricky question, Sky Potter Hub, the previous question which we did. The only tricky part was this, that you should be aware of following standard instructions. If you follow standard simply suggested steps, you will be able to solve the questions quite easily. Now look at this question, everyone. An easy one it is. Pay attention. How do we solve this? Pay attention. Just give me a second, everyone. Now imagine, see, what are we told that SQ, QR, RS and SP. So these 5 sides are having equal length. However, their equal length, their length is not given to us. So these lengths, mind you, everyone, this, PQ, then PS, this SR and QR, all these are having equal length. Shall I say this is clearly anything but a rhombus? I am not very sure whether it can be a square or not, and it clearly cannot be a square, because these angles are clearly not looking like 90-degree angles. Hence, it is going to be a rhombus because the charo sides are equal. Well, once you know that all the 4 sides of this shape are equal, what are we told that PR is of 21 units. So, ये जो length दी गई है, this length we are told is 21 units, my dear everyone. Then, what are we told next? Just give me a second, everyone. See, all these 4 sides, shall I say this, and this. This is nothing but a rhombus, and all these four sides are equal. And we all know a property related to rhombus during, while studying or reading geometry, that rhombus के both the diagonals perpendicularly bisect each other, which means अगर ये QS was a 90-degree angle, मतलब QS and PR both behaving like diagonals would be there at 90 degrees, right? And they bisect each other, which means if I call this point O, QO and OS will be equal, and PO and OR will also be of equal length. I hope that much part is clear understood by everyone. Now, what else you can do here is imagine this circle has this dot here, basically the center of the circle. This another circle has a center here. Why are we doing all this? You'll realize very soon. So pay attention, everyone. That's good, everyone. I'm just reading everyone's comments. Okay, that's good. So what you do next is, pay attention, everyone. This is how you extend this particular circle, right? And when you extend this particular circle somewhat like this, what you realize is that this is nothing but a replica of this particular shaded region. I hope you're realizing that. So all I'm asking you to do is take this entire shape, this entire green shaded part which I've just made, and invert it. When you invert it, take the mirror image along with this axis, this vertical axis. When you do that, I hope you realize that this particular circle will be filled. And when this particular circle gets filled, in short, in a different language, all you are asked is to figure out the area of this circle. And area of the circle can be figured out quite easily if you have the radius of the circle. Now I'll be telling you it very quickly. Pay attention, everyone. See, I hope you are realizing that this side, and this side are of equal length. I hope you do realize that. And if these three sides of a triangle are of equal length, shouldn't I say that this is clearly nothing but an equilateral triangle? And if you have an equilateral triangle, shall I say this circle is nothing but a circumscribed circle? And if this circle is a circumscribed circle, shall I say the circle is having a center which should be nothing but the centroid for the triangle as well? Why am I saying that? क्योंकि हमने पढ़ा है for an equilateral triangle, when a circle is inscribed, circle का center और triangle का centroid align each other, मतलब they are concentric. So, and I hope we know one more property, that centroid divides the median into the ratio 2:1. So if this length is 2, shall I say this length would be 1, this another length is 1, and this length is 2. So shall I say ये यहाँ तक की radius अगर 2 units है on ratio scale, this length would also be 2 units again on ratio scale, although not very proportionally drawn, and this length again would be of 2 units. I hope you are realizing why am I saying that, because the same kind of equilateral triangle can be drawn on the other side as well. So if that centroid to the vertex length is 2, on the other side centroid to vertex the length is 2, so beach wala length is also equal 1 1 each, and that's how it will be of 2 units. Now why am I saying that, or what is the significance of doing that? Let's quickly figure that out. Now your question is almost done, just figure the answer out with this data. See, we were told that this entire PR distance was nothing but kitna? This PR distance was, just let me draw it properly first of all. This PR distance we were told was 21 units, but according to us, if I assume that, if this is the center of the circle and this is the center of another circle, this was the 2 units, this is another 2 units, this is another 2 units. Algebraically speaking, if this is length 2a, this is another length 2a, this is another length 2a. So your data says 6a, but our data says 21 units. Shall I say the value of a is nothing but 21 upon 6? If I cancel both the values by 3, it should be 7 upon 3. So the value of a turns out to be 7 upon 3. Once you've gotten the value of a, which is 7 upon 3, a is nothing, but I hope you're realizing 2a. Shouldn't we keep it 2a, because I will be needing basically the radius, and this a is half of radius. So I should keep it as 2a, so I'll just divide it by 3. So shall I write this 6a, or shall I simply divide both the sides by 3? When you divide both the sides by 3, 3 cancels 6, makes it 2a, and on the right hand side when 3 cancels 27, it should be 7. So I had a, so this is 2a, which is 7. So the radius of the circle we have gotten is 7. Now once you've gotten the radius of the circle, can we figure out the area of the circle? I hope we can quite easily. That is clearly pi r square. So pi is clearly 22 by 7. यहाँ पे decimal में दिया, you can take it as 3.14 into r is clearly 7. 7 का square is 49. So 49 का जब आप triple करेंगे, तो you will get the answer. I hope I need not tell you how. Right? With that, I believe everyone must have cracked and understood. There is an easier way to transfer the black area of the white one and divide PR into 3 parts of equal. Exactly, Harshit. वो जो हमने 3 इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया, मैं उसका प्रूफ दिखाना चाह रहा था कि इक्विलैटरल ट्रायंगल और सेंट्रॉइड के थ्रू वो 3 ही इक्वल पार्ट्स में क्यों डिवाइड होगा. दैट ज्योमेट्रिकल प्रूफ I was trying to demonstrate. Otherwise, you are having absolutely a correct approach. That's brilliant. And yes, by using this formula, you can get the answer. Avoid discussing a lot of things because I'm reading a lot of students are discussing a lot of unnecessary things right now. Can we discuss these things in the later part of the discussion? Because I really want to discuss the questions which you have asked. So online students, kindly keep mentioning the question numbers you want to discuss. Now, with that, I'm skipping this question now. I believe everyone must have understood the solution. Proceeding further, I hope these all were some really simple and easy questions. I should not even address them. And I believe no question so far should be challenged. All the questions, as far as I have checked by myself, are absolutely correct. And no question so far, at least till question number 10, needs to be challenged. Sir, can you please, Harsh is asking, clear my doubts. ASAP, I want to challenge them in less than 2 hours are left. Yes, Harsh, I will ensure कि 4 o'clock से पहले हम पूरा discussion खत्म करें. You just mention the question number, Harsh. I will discuss all the questions in a chronological manner only. So till 10th question we have discussed. I think this is again an easy one. A lot of students have given question number 9 is suggested by Spandan. Spandan, what's wrong with question number 9? Spandan, this is clearly a question based on set theory. Why should we even discuss it? I don't understand. This is a very simple question you all should be able to solve. This is a question which you all have done while drawing the Venn diagrams. So with the help of Venn diagrams, you can very easily crack this question. Let's very quickly solve the question, everyone. See, what are we told here? That a total of 200 people were surveyed for a newspaper readership. If it was found that 100 people read publication X, 120 read publication Y, and 50 people do not read either X or Y. So what is the total number of people who read either publication X or publication Y but not both? Very interesting question, class. Please understand. There are 200 people in this city, colony, or whatever you want to call it, and there are two types of categories, category X and category Y. Category X people, there are 100 people who read X type of newspaper. Category Y, there are 120 people who read Y type of newspaper. Now, please understand, there are 50 people basically. There are total 50 people who do not read either X or Y. So they read neither X nor Y. If they don't read any paper, neither X nor Y, they should be lying somewhere here. Now, please understand, everyone. 50 people are already, adjusted here. Now, this is 200. Total number of people were 200. Out of 200 people, 50 people don't read neither X nor Y. 50 people don't read either X or Y. Hence, shall I say, the total number of people who would be reading either of the newspapers would be 150, 200 minus 50. So, ये जो section होगा, जो X और Y का union होगा, that should be total 150. I hope you're realizing why am I saying that. So, this sum should be 150. Now, out of this 150, I hope you're realizing that 100 plus 120 is clearly 220. And 220 is 70 more than 50. So, 70 should be that common area. Why am I saying that? The process is quite simple. 100 plus 120 makes 220, but the union can be 150. So 220 150 से 70 ज़्यादा है. ये 70 तभी ज़्यादा हो सकता है जब दोनों का इंटरसेक्शन 70 हो. बहुत बेसिक सी बात है. आप इसे सेट थ्योरी यानी फॉर्मूले से भी निकाल सकते हैं. वह नया तरीका बहुत स्टैंडर्ड सा तरीका है which we have taught to all our students. 100 minus 70 should be 30, which is only X. 120 minus 70 is 50, which is only Y. I hope you're realizing 70 plus 30, 100. 100 plus 50, 150. 150 plus 50 is 200. So I have adjusted all the people in this Venn diagram. Now what were we asked? The total number of people who read either X or Y, but not both. So हमसे पूछा जा रहा है कि आप सिर्फ उतने लोग बताइए जो या तो सिर्फ X न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हैं या फिर सिर्फ Y न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हैं. But we are not interested in counting or calculating or considering the people who read X and Y both. So the answer should be 30 plus 50, 80. I hope everyone has understood this. How are we getting this 80? This is 30 people who read only X and 50 people who read only Y. That's how you get the answer. Okay, so I think question number 9 was clearly understood and discussed. With that, let's proceed further. आगे बढ़ेंगे class. So keep looking. I think this again is a very easy question. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Question number 13, I think some students have asked. Let's quickly discuss that as well. So far, I again believe there has been no such question which goes, which can be challenged. So far, I don't think ऐसा कोई भी question है जो challenge किया जाना चाहिए. Now, this question was a very simple, a very easy question, and and in computer science or for software engineers, it is called Tower of Hanoi. So this is a problem which uses basically or internally the concept of power of Hanoi. Yes, Spandan, we will solve the question which was based on balancing of fishes. You just need to give me the question number. Otherwise, we'll not be able to discuss it. देखो, यहाँ से देखिए everyone. What we can do here is, there are multiple approaches of solving this question. What are we told that हर block में हर tube में जो maximum number of balls which can be arranged could be basically कितनी 3, right? देखो मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ता हूँ. Let me just read it. Shown below are the three tubes P, Q and R with colored marbles. Each tube can hold a maximum of 5 marbles. Only one marble can be transferred in a move. What is the minimum number of moves required to transfer the red marbles from tube P to the bottom of tube R? So I need to bring this red marble from here to here. But conditions क्या है बहुत ध्यान सुनिए. At most एक वक्त पर एक ट्यूब में मैक्सिमम 5 मार्बल्स ही रह सकते हैं. दूसरी कंडीशन, एक मूव कब कंसीडर की जाएगी जब आप एक मार्बल मूव करते हो. So you pick up one marble from one side and lift it or put it in another tube. That step is called one move. So कितनी minimum moves के अंदर this task can be accomplished? That's the question. Okay, ध्यान से सुनिए everyone. Now, a very easy, very simple question. See, shall I say I should try and keep this red on the top of somewhere क्योंकि red को सीधे से सबसे नीचे ले जाना है. तो this is like last in first out क्योंकि जो सबसे आखिरी में जाएगा सबसे पहले आएगा. It's like a stack. The box which your mother uses while preparing rotis or chapatis. So whichever marble is going to get inserted in the end will pop up, will be taken out in the in the very beginning for the first time. So what I'm trying to do is this P, this one I am putting here, right? So this one when you put here, it has 5 marbles. So this one has been shifted here and it has 5 marbles. This was my first step. What I do next is these two I put here, or rather these three. Which three? This and this I put here. But again, I put first this orange one, then this green one, and then this red one. So on the top of you I have red, but I have shifted 3 marbles. So 3 more steps are performed, right? Now what I have here is I have this completely P tube is completely vacant, completely empty, and R has 5, Q has 5. I need to empty this R because R के end में अगर मुझे लेके जाना है तो R को पूरा empty करना होगा. और R को जब आप empty करना चाहेंगे तो 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marbles are to be taken out and placed inside P. So 5 more steps are to be performed. So 1, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think all the 5 steps I have performed so far. The only step I need to do is ये जो Q में अब obviously पूरा का पूरा R का सारे 5 marbles I have placed in P. All these 5 marbles. Now what am I left with is Q के top पर I'm still left with a red marble, and now our tube is completely empty. और ये जो red marble है मैं R में place करके I will accomplish what we were asked to do, and to achieve that I will require total 10 steps minimum. That's brilliant everyone. So skipping this question now, I believe everyone has understood the explanation. This question was a very interesting question, and as I have already told you a lot many times, do not invest a lot of time in solving these kind of questions, because while calculating the number of triangles, you will always commit the error. And I have always told you that have a systematic approach, have an organized approach. See, by systematic approach, I simply mean that you can call these vertices some numbers, let's say A, B, so that you stay organized. D, E, let me call it F, G, and let's call it H. Then I'm calling it I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Then internally this can be called P, this can be Q. Then this can be considered R, S, T, U. So these are all the vertices I'm having. I hope you all can see that. So continuing further, ध्यान से देखेंगे सब लोग. If I start counting the number of right angled triangles, I hope you all must have read the question properly. We were asked the right angle triangle. So if I begin with calculating these, should I say एक triangle ऐसा मुझे दिख रहा है? This is ABQ. Now with this A vertex, let's see how many such right angle triangles can we see. Can I say I am seeing ACL as well? Then along with this A, I am seeing what? AOM, right? Then along with this A only, shall I say I am seeing AOL as well? I hope you all are seeing that. Apart from this AOL, what else can you see? I think with this A vertex, I am not able to see any other right angle triangle because AOM I have covered, AOL I have covered, ABQ we have covered, ACL we have covered. I don't think we are left with any. So let's look at this N now, right? So I'm looking at this N. So with this N, shall I say NPM could be one of the triangles? And when you look at this N, can there be any other triangle as well? I don't think there is any other triangle. No, there is another triangle NQL. I hope that is also one of the triangles you must have seen. So this is another NQL, another triangle we all have seen so far. So with that, I think 2 more we could find with this N vertex using N as one of the vertices. Now, Then what I do is I start with D vertex now. When you start with D, shall I say DCL could be one of the right angle triangles? DCL I'm talking about. Shall I say DER should also be one of the right angle triangles we are looking at? DER I'm talking about. Well, with D I'm seeing few more possibilities, which what do I mean by that? Shall I say DSF should be another right angle triangle which we all are seeing, DSF. Not just that, it doesn't stop just here. DTG should be one of another right angle triangles which we must all have seen, right? Apart from that, are we left with anything else? DRE I have covered, have I? Yes. DSF we have covered, DTG we have covered, and I don't think we are left with any. DLE also has been covered. DLE has not been covered. DCL has been covered. So DLE is another one such right angle triangle we are seeing which I didn't cover. And with D, are we seeing something else too? DCL, DRE, DLE. I think I have covered almost everything. E के साथ. So let me, अगर in case if I have missed any, do write it in the chat box. With that, I'm proceeding further. ध्यान से देखेंगे class. Let's count it from H now. अगर मैं H वाले vertex से देखता हूँ, so this is also one of the vertex which can behave as a right angle triangle. So अगर H से देखें तो shall I say HGU should be one of the right angle triangle. Not just that, apart from HGU, इसके अलावा जो एक और right angle triangle मुझे दिखेगा, that should be HFS. I hope you all are seeing that. Not just that, अगर आप H से ही continue करें, so I think these two only can be created with H. I think इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं बन रहा है. Yes, nothing else can be created with H. Now let's look at it from I's perspective. अगर आप I के perspective से देखें, so it should be IJT. I hope you all can see this smaller right angle triangle. Then it should be IKS. This is another right angle triangle. And if we proceed further, it should be IRL. I hope you all are seeing this also very clearly. Not just that, if you extend it a little more, you should be seeing IDC as well. How many triangles have we counted so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. One more is missing. I hope we have considered everything. One more I haven't noticed. ABP should also be there. ABP. Didn't I take that down? Yes, one more triangle is there. Thank you so much for reminding me that. Who wrote that? ABP. Thank you so much, Shreya. So one more triangle we are seeing, ABP, right? So this triangle we forgot to notice, and that's the problem here with these kind of questions. Although I could write them systematically, I could recalculate them, I could retally them, but this much time we are not going to have in the real examination. That's the problem with these category of questions, and hence I would always recommend avoid doing or solving these kind of questions. Thank you so much, Madhav, for suggesting that. With that, I think we shall try another question. This is the question which has bothered a lot of students, and a lot of students are wanting it to be challenged. But believe me, this clearly is a very correct question. It's completely a correct question. This need not be challenged. This simply cannot be challenged. I'll prove it right now. So everyone look at the screen. What are we told or given in this question? I hope this screen and this question is properly visible to everyone. The image shows a hanging sculpture created by tying fish-shaped cutouts of different weights by blue string on brown sticks as shown. Now, the sticks and strings have negligible weight. The sculpture remains balanced after it is suspended from a ceiling. If the weight of the black fish is 5 grams, what is the weight in grams of the red fish? Now, very, very interesting question. This black fish is having a weight 5 grams. Now, one thing which most of you might not have noticed is this, that यहाँ पे अगर आप डिस्टेंस देखें तो ये सिर्फ 2 ब्लॉक की डिस्टेंस है, और अगर आप यहाँ पे ये डिस्टेंस देखें तो 4 ब्लॉक्स की डिस्टेंस है. तो जब इसे 4 ब्लॉक में रखा जा रहा है तब जाके 5 ग्राम. तो शैल आई से जो 2 ब्लॉक में रखी गई है, दिस डिस्टेंस शुड बी डबल ऑफ इट. शुडंट आई से दैट? आई होप यू रियलाइजिंग दैट. क्योंकि यहाँ पे इसको बैलेंस करने के लिए है डिफरेंट हाइट, डिफरेंट लेंथ, बट यहाँ पे जब ये लेंथ मुझे मिल रही है, इसकी हाफ लेंथ मिल रही है, तो ऑब्वियसली इसकी हाफ लेंथ के साथ यहाँ पे वेट डबल हुआ होगा, तभी जाकर ये दोनों एटलीस्ट बैलेंस रही होंगी. तो शैल आई से ये जो वेट रहा होगा ये डेफिनेटली 10 रहा होगा. नाउ इफ दिस वेट वाज 10, शैल आई से ये एग्जैक्टली बीच में है, क्योंकि इसके इस तरफ भी 3 ही ब्लॉक्स हैं और इसके इस तरफ भी 3 ही ब्लॉक्स हैं. सो इफ इट इज एग्जैक्टली समवेयर फ्रॉम बिटवीन, तो अगर ये पूरा वेट 15 है, शैल आई से ये वेट ग्रीन वाली फिश का भी 15 ग्राम्स ही होना चाहिए था. Now this is also somewhere exactly in the middle, क्योंकि यहाँ पे I'm seeing 4 blocks and here also I'm seeing 4 blocks. So अगर 15 plus 10 plus 5 कितना हो रहा है? कुछ गलत तो नहीं कर रहे हैं? 20 plus 30. So this should also be having a weight 30. How or why did I say that? because 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 plus 10 is 30. So अगर green वाली इस total इन सबका weight 30 है, तो orange चूंकि इन सबको balance कर दे रहा है, तो orange fish का भी weight 30 होना चाहिए. Now the question is completely simple. This is 30 and this is 30, so 30 plus 30 makes red fish ka weight 60. That's the answer. I hope you all have realized. Question was pretty simple. You all should have been able to solve. That's good. Torque, what concept it is? Oh, that's brilliant, everyone. I'm glad most of you are getting it correctly. So this question, I hope you all have realized, should not or need not be or cannot be challenged, basically. So with that, let's try another set or category of questions. Question number 8. I think this question has no problems at all. Everyone must have understood it. If you have, feel free to ask. We have discussed it a lot many times. Such questions are already discussed in almost all our classes which we have been conducting so far. As for the year-long program students, for the crash course students, and even in marathon, this category or sort of questions are discussed or were discussed. So this cannot be concluded. ये question भी पूछा गया है ऐसा का ऐसा, and this you should have been able to solve. Apart from that, I think these are all some simple questions. अगर कोई भी question ऐसा आता है जो आपने नहीं समझा है, जो आपसे नहीं हुआ है, और अगर आपको लगता है challenge किया जाना चाहिए, do write it as a chat box. We will be discussing that. Okay, so with that, I'm skipping further. I'm proceeding further. Well, this is again a very easy question. इसका ऑप्शन सीधा सीधा ऑप्शन ए और डी था. आई होप यू ऑल मस्ट हैव रियलाइज. सर्कल हमें दिख ही रहे हैं, तो ऑप्शन ए तो आप मार्क कर ही सकते थे, और यही आपको सजेस्ट किया गया था कि जितने भी ऑप्शंस मिनिमम लग रहे हैं उतने तो मार्क करिए. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ऑप्शन सही होंगे हमें नहीं पता, बट जितने आपको सही लग रहे हैं, जितने ऑप्शंस को लेके आप श्योर हैं, वो ज़रूर मार्क करिए. That's good. Online students, keep responding. Apart from that, I hope you are realizing option D also is there because it is completely properly visible here in all these shapes. So I think option A and option D should be the answer. Apart from that, I hope I need not explain question number 20. Okay, so this again has bothered a lot of students. इस question को, इस तरह के question को करने का एक सीधा सीधा तरीका होता है. Obviously, दे थोड़ा सा मैथ साइंस के स्टूडेंट्स को बेनिफिट करेगा, बट अगर आप इसे समझें तो दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन जो e to the power x का ग्राफ फॉलो कर रहा है. Although e to the power x की वैल्यू फिक्स्ड है 25, so it is like a curve or a curvature जो x to the power y is equal to 25. तो आप एक काम ये कर सकते थे कि आप बस x और y की कुछ रैंडम वैल्यूज ले लीजिए. यू डू द सैम्पलिंग, और जब आप x और y के अलग अलग वैल्यूज लेंगे और अगर वो x to the power y रेज करने पर 25 जनरेट कर रहा है, तो वो पॉसिबल ग्राफ्स हमारे सही होंगे. रेस्ट ऑफ द ग्राफ्स वुड हैव बीन अवॉइडेड. व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दैट? ऑप्शन ए को ध्यान से देखिए एवरीवन. सी, ऑप्शन ए को अगर आप ध्यान से देखें, सो क्लियरली दिस इज 5 एंड दिस कुड बी 2. आई होप यू ऑल आर सीइंग दैट. सो दिस कुड हैव बीन 25, बट जैसे जैसे ये इंफिनिटी को रीच करेगा, एक सेकंड दीजिए, आई एम जस्ट शोइंग इट. The more it reaches infinity, I hope this screen which has been shared with you is properly visible to all the participants. Okay, Anmol and Deepak are saying, sir, if two options are correct and if we mark only one, do we get 2 or 1 mark? सी, अनमोल बहुत बेसिक सी कैलकुलेशन टेक्निक है. ऑल्दो आपका रिजल्ट जल्दी ही आ जाएगा, रियलाइज कि कितने मार्क्स और कैसे मिले हैं. बट इफ यू वांट टू नो द मैकेनिज्म, जितनी हमने सोची, हमने डेवलप की है. लेट्स से इफ एमसीक्यू में देयर आर 4 सेक्शंस, मतलब 4 मार्क ऑप्शंस ए बी सी डी, आउट ऑफ विच लेट्स से 3 वर करेक्ट, ए बी एंड सी. और ऑब्वियसली एमसीक्यू सेक्शन इज ऑफ 4 मार्क्स, तो तीनों ऑप्शंस में मार्क्स इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए उसको 4/3 करना होगा. एंड लेट्स से आपने ए बी सी में से बी और सी मार्क किए, तो आपको अगर एक ऑप्शन के 4/3 मार्क्स मिलने चाहिए, तो दो ऑप्शन के 2 into 4/3 8/3 मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. दैट्स हाउ यू शुड कैलकुलेट योर मार्क्स इन एमएसक्यू सेक्शन, एज फार एज माय कैलकुलेशन अलाउज मी टू थिंक. अगर मैं वापस इसी क्वेश्चन को डिस्कस करूं, सो द डेटा इज क्वाइट सिंपल, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. सी, हाउ डू यू ऑब्जर्व द डेटा? यू जस्ट लुक एट सर्टेन वैल्यूज, और क्या वो x to the power y रेज करने पर 25 वैल्यू दे रहा है, इस तरीके से आप इसे आराम से डिटरमाइन करके आंसर निकाल सकते थे. आई होप क्वेश्चन नंबर 20 वाज अगेन एन इजी वन. We have done that question, Sachin, in the very beginning of this lecture. आप इस वीडियो को अगर शुरुआत से देखेंगे, you will realize the question was pretty simple. Should have been able to solve. Now, this I believe was again a very easy question. You all should have been able to solve. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. Question number 22 is being asked. Okay, Shreya, I will discuss that. In question number 22, I think A, B, D are definitely the correct choices. I will show you कि option A, B, D बिल्कुल सही हैं क्यों. Everyone look at the screen. I'm just zooming it in, so that it becomes visible to you all properly. I hope this is visible, everyone. Now, The best approach I would recommend for these category of questions is that start with the outer layer, start with the outermost layer. अगर आप outer layer को achieve कर लेंगे तो internally आप कुछ ना कुछ घुमा के ले आएंगे. और अगर वो शेप कनेक्टेड है तो थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाने से वो कनेक्टेड शेप बन जाएगा. देखिए यहाँ से बहुत. I'm starting with this triangle. You continue with this. You try tracing the outer layer. You keep tracing and then you go somewhat like this. And after this, you trace it like this, then this, then this. Then, with some arrangements, I believe you should be able to do it. Now I'm going back. This. Okay, now I'm stuck. But this, before coming to this class, we were able to do it. The same approach we'll use again, but कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा. इस तरीके से आपको बार-बार इसे try करना होगा. In one attempt, you will not be able to solve these questions because they require a lot of visualization. So with certain number of attempts, you can crack this category of questions, everyone. So when you continue further like this, then like this, then I believe this, and then this, and this. So I think this can be traced quite properly. I hope I did not tell why or how option B. As far as option C is considered, it cannot be done, but let me show you. Option D can also be traced. Again, use the same approach. Try and trace the outer layer first of all. And once you have traced the outer layer, get inside. और अंदर भी बहुत आसान सा तरीका I would recommend that start with this. I think start with this, then this, then this, then this, then this. So this is how you could have traced this also. I hope you are realizing what are we doing here, right? So this is again a quite easy question. So this is how you could have gotten option B as well. Yes, that's great. Apart from that, so far, question number 28 is mentioned here on the screen. I hope these all were some really simple questions. These all I believe you all must have done. Question number 27, I hope this is an easy one. Question number 28. See, बहुत आसान सा लॉजिक है. अब कम से कम कुछ ना भी सही तो ऑप्शन सी और ऑप्शन डी रिजेक्ट कर सकते हैं इस बेसिस पर कि ऑप्शन सी का ये ब्लॉक आप ऑब्वियसली नहीं एडजस्ट कर पाएंगे कहीं पे. हम हैविंग दिस काइंड ऑफ अ स्पेस ओपन एंड दिस particular shape cannot be adjusted anywhere. I hope you're realizing what I'm trying to convey. ऑप्शन डी के साथ भी सेम प्रॉब्लम है कि ऑप्शन डी का ये वाला पार्ट जब आप यहाँ रख देंगे और इसे ही रोटेट करके जब ये वाला पार्ट आप यहाँ रख देंगे तो बीच में इस सेक्शन में इस ऑप्शन डी को कैसे एडजस्ट करेंगे. एंड ऑन दैट बेसिस एटलीस्ट ऑप्शन सी और डी तो रिजेक्ट हो जाते हैं. ऑप्शन बी को लेके अगर आप श्योर नहीं भी हैं, आप ऑप्शन ए से शुरू करिए, ऑप्शन बी से ही शुरू करिए. दिस शेप, आई थिंक अगर मैं शेप को डिवाइड करूँ, सो दिस इज हाउ इट गेट्स डिवाइडेड, राइट. And if you fulfill तो ये 4 ब्लॉक हैं, 3 ब्लॉक हैं. So I start with this. Let me use these 3 blocks here, and let me use these 4 blocks from here. So this is how you're using this shape. इसी तरीके से इस शेप को यहाँ भी रखेंगे हम, तो कुछ ना कुछ अरेंजमेंट्स करके I think you will be able to do it. And I think option A and B की हेल्प से आप अरेंज कर लेंगे. I'm not just showing it in front of you करके. And same you could have achieved with the help of option A as well. What am I suggesting here? See, आप एग्जाम में से कैसे अटेंड कर सकते हैं फटाफट. 1 2 3 4 5 रोज यू क्रिएट, 1 2 3 4 5 6 कॉलम्स यू क्रिएट, एंड जो भी आपको शेप दिख रहा है उसको क्रॉस से डिनोट कर लीजिए. सो दिस हैज बेसिकली दिस एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ क्रॉस. सो क्रॉसेस फटाफट फिल कर लीजिए जिस भी मैनर में या जिस भी शेप में दिए गए हैं, और इन क्रॉस को कंटिन्यूस मैनर में अगर आप अरेंज कर पा रहे हैं विदाउट लीविंग एनी गैप्स, और अगर ऑप्शन में प्रॉपर्ली अरेंज हो पा रहा है, आई होप यू आर रियलाइजिंग यू कैन रोटेट देम बट यू कैन नॉट फ्लिप देम, एंड दिस इज हाउ यू कुड हैव अचीव्ड द आंसर. ओके, सो आई होप यू ऑल हैव गॉटन द क्लैरिटी कैसे करना चाहिए था, एटलीस्ट कौन कौन से ऑप्शंस रिजेक्ट किए जा सकते थे. दैट्स गुड. आई होप आई हैव आंसर्ड द क्वेश्चन नाउ. Question number 25, Shreya is asking question number 25. Shreya, I think I need not explain this. बहुत सीधा सीधा question है Shreya. You should have seen it by yourself that अगर x शेप की टाइल्स को रिपीट करके y शेप क्रिएट किया जा सकता है, तो इनमें से कौन से ऐसे शेप्स हैं जिनकी टाइल सेम बनाई जा सकती है? द प्रॉब्लम हियर इज, अगर मुझे ये कर्व पार्ट यहाँ दिख रहा है तो इसे आप कहाँ एडजस्ट करेंगे b में? तो b ऑप्शन इसलिए नहीं हो सकता है। सेम प्रॉब्लम इज देयर विद सी, कि सी में अगर मुझे ये यहाँ पे ये शेप दिख रहा है तो इस ट्रायंगुलर शेप को आप कहाँ एडजस्ट करेंगे? यहाँ करना भी चाहें तो बाकी चीजें कैसे एडजस्ट होंगी? ये वाला ट्रायंगुलर शेप एक वाइड एक गैप क्रिएट करेगा, एंड दैट्स व्हाई ऑप्शन सी इज आल्सो गेटिंग रिजेक्टेड। ऑप्शन अगर आप ए और डी को क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करें तो आई थिंक ये जो शेप है, this shape can be adjusted here, and I think the same this particular shape can be adjusted here. So option D is not really the answer. The same you could have checked with option A कि कौन सा वाला सेगमेंट कहाँ पे कैसे एडजस्ट किया जाता है, और वही रेप्लिका अगर वहाँ पे फिट हो रहा है, on that basis we could have marked option A and D. Although मैं थोड़ा सा जल्दी पढ़ा रहा हूँ, but yes, I hope you're realizing how to solve this category of questions everyone. With that, question number 29 देखो, सीधा सीधा क्वेश्चन था, बहुत छोटा सा स्टैटिक सा, सीधा सीधा दिमाग लगाते तो क्वेश्चन हो जाता। Everyone, look at the screen. I hope it's visible to all the participants. Just give me a second, everyone. I hope it's visible to everyone now. Now, in this question, we are told that option A and C are the correct answers. Why are we saying that? Because see, this distance. Let me just draw it in different figure. This distance which you are seeing here is here, and whatever distance you are seeing here is here. So they are clearly two same sized equilateral, congruent quadrilaterals, and that's why I am saying that they have equal volume, and hence option A should be the answer. The same thing is here happening with option C. This has the same space. This length is also clearly the same, और height तो same है ही. उस basis पे option C में भी जो volume है that is equal. Option B में I hope you must have realized ये space ज़्यादा है, space कम है, इसलिए reject हो जाएगा. The same problem is there with option D कि ऊपर तो दोनों तरफ space equal है, but नीचे space कम और ज़्यादा है. इस basis पे option D भी गलत हो गया. पूरा equal होता तो बात होती. And that's why option A and C should be marked as the correct answers. That's good. So continuing further, I think you have doubt in no other question इस section में, और अगर हम आगे चलते रहें, so I'm skipping these questions. Online students keep asking. I think these were some really simple questions. Which chairs of the rock will to and fro? I think you must have realized कि option B और C नहीं होगा, क्योंकि option B में this part will create the problem. Option B में ये part और ये part इसे balance कर देगा, ये एकदम properly रखा रहेगा. But option A and option D will definitely use this motion. So far I don't think any question needs to be challenged. Okay, so this again was a question based on simple rotation. You should have been able to solve. This is also a question where you need to visualize a little, and you would be do it. So this question neither nor cannot be done. Question number 19, again a very simple question. I hope you all are able to you clearly visualize very clearly that कैसे इसको उस तरफ जब flip करेंगे तो वो कैसा view बनेगा, and this cannot be done. This which option cannot be done can be imagined quite easily. The same is question number 38, rotation, sequence and series का एक question था जिसे आप आराम से घुमा के देख सकते थे. Question number 30 a lot of students are asking. Okay, I shall address it. एक second देंगे मुझे यार. Question number 32. Okay. Okay, so question number 32, option B we are told that cannot be the answer. Let me show you just कि option B क्यों गलत है. I hope बहुत ध्यान देंगे. ये वाला जो shape है, this shape cannot be adjusted here, क्योंकि इस shape को create करना, I hope you are realizing, even flipping when is allowed. Shall I say ये जो shape है, ये shape यहाँ आ सकता था, although इसकी length कम है, और अगर इसे मैं continue करूँ तो shall I say मुझे यहाँ पे जो side दिखनी चाहिए थी वो कुछ ऐसी सी दिखनी चाहिए थी, right? और जब आप इसे ऐसा एडजस्ट करने की कोशिश करेंगे, आई थिंक ये स्पेस अनयूटिलाइज रह जाएगा, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे वर क्लेमिंग कि ऑप्शन बी कैन नॉट बी द आंसर. If you still need more clarity, I can re-explain, but I think option number B should be the correct answer. Okay, so Sky Potter is saying 32. रोहित भी कह रहा है 32. Okay, रोहित, let me explain it one more time. यहाँ से एक बार पढ़ के मैं करता हूँ, because I haven't even read the question paper. Which of the options can be made using all the, I haven't read the question paper properly basically, so let's read the instructions again. Made using all the 4 pieces shown in the top row. So इन चारों shapes को use करके मुझे देखना है कि कौन कौन से shapes बनाए जा सकते हैं, right? कौन से shapes बनाए जा सकते हैं, yes. So what we are claiming is option B cannot be made. The only reason was कि यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा space बाहर निकल रहा था, which cannot be made. See, again, I am beginning with this biggest possible shape. So I think, yes, Sachin, it was an easy question. No, Deepak, option question number 31 में D wasn't possible क्योंकि इसकी flipping आप कर रहे होंगे. उसकी फ्लिपिंग वाज नॉट अलाउड, उसको रोटेट आप कर सकते थे मेरे ख्याल से, उसको फ्लिप नहीं कर सकते थे, एंड दैट वाज द प्रॉब्लम विद क्वेश्चन नंबर 31. If I rearrange this question, the structure, the shapes we are given, if I begin with the same shape, flipping if it was allowed, shall I say, अगर मैं इसी शेप को अरेंज करूँ यहाँ पर, तो ये फ्लिप करके कुछ तो ऐसा सा शेप बनेगा, आई बिलीव, राइट. एंड इन दैट शेप अगर मैं बाकी शेप्स को एडजस्ट भी करूँ, सो आई डोंट थिंक ये शेप यहीं ओवरलैप हो जाएगा बाकी शेप्स के कारण. दिस पर्टिकुलर शेप आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू अचीव, दैट्स माय पॉइंट. Yes, Sky Potter, I also have checked it, but still, if you believe that you are sure that it cannot, it can be done, then option B should be marked it correct answer. So do one thing, just do one thing. Have your solution with you, take a photograph of that question and mail to them. Last year we did use that, but this year if they have changed the methodology of challenging the questions, use that method and challenge this question if you believe option B should be right. As far as I can see, I'm not able to see any pattern with option B, and hence I'm not claiming or saying option B can be done. But if you believe or think that option B could be the answer, check it again and do right then. They will definitely revert. Okay, so I think these are the questions we have discussed so far. Apart from that, this was a question based on rotation, imagination, visualization. This was a question based on sequence and series, pattern recognition. Objects को होल्ड करते तो देख पाते हैं. एनिमेशन का एक क्वेश्चन था, ये भी बहुत स्टैंडर्ड सा क्वेश्चन है जो अक्सर अब आप कर पाते होंगे, जिसका नॉलेज आई थिंक आपको होगा. दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन बेस्ड ऑन पर्सपेक्टिव. आई होप यू आर एबल टू सॉल्व. दैट्स गुड. Okay, so whosoever is believing कि question number 31 is controversial, I advise you, do write it. Do inform UCEED about it. Do write it to them that you find that these are the particular options which can be done. And more importantly, in your mail, do mention the screenshot of the images, that how did you achieve it, how did you do it, and keep it very accurate, keep it very precise, keep it very fine-tuned. Okay, then only they'll be able to recognize your answer correctly. Question number 41, I think, is based on drawing perspective, so please do that. Yes, guys, please share your video. Now, question number 42 we have, I think, a question based on mirror image. You have excellent knowledge of mirror images and water images, how to recognize patterns and sequences, and you can do it. So we are or will not be discussing this question too. This is again a question based on drawing, the basic knowledge of drawing, which should be done or which can be done. Well, this 44th question was quite an interesting one. I hope most of you must have gotten it. See, this word when written or this word when flipped, the only problem with option C is this, that जब आप इस E shape को निकालेंगे तो इस E shape में ये वाला सर्कल पूरा कंटिन्यूस बन जाएगा, और जब ये शेप पूरा कंटिन्यूस सर्कल या ओवल शेप बन जाएगा तो ये भी निकल के बाहर गिर जाएगा. तो ये प्रॉपर E जैसा नहीं दिखेगा, ये पूरा मुझे खाली सा एक ऐसा सा शेप दिखेगा, दिस एंड दिस ओनली. सो आई विल बी सीइंग दिस ओनली, और ऐसा पूरा खाली ब्लॉक, एंड दिस क्लियरली डज नॉट लुक लाइक ई. ई दिखने के लिए यहाँ पे आई शुड हैव सीन कुछ ऐसा, जैसा उसने यहाँ पे हर सर्कल को दो दो पार्ट्स में इक्वली डिवाइड किया. यहाँ पे ई में जब कंटिन्यूटी आ जाएगी उस वजह से ई का ये अंदर वाला ब्लॉक बाहर आ जाएगा, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट विल नॉट क्रिएट द करेक्ट font or the correct letter we require here, and that's why option C should be the answer, which should be basically be rejected, or which cannot form the word the way we want it to be written or printed. I hope this is clearly 12 o'clock in the noon. So surface पर exact आपके नीचे shadow should get created, and that is happening in option A, and hence that should be the answer. Okay, question number 46. Rohit, you need to mention the question numbers here in the comment. It will be very difficult for me. Question number 32 हमने अभी डिस्कस किया. रोहित ऑप्शन बी के लिए बात कर चुके हैं. If you are very sure कि ऑप्शन बी आंसर है, draw a diagram and send it to them. They will revert. Apart from that, okay, Sajal, that's good. Yes, Shreya, I have told you it can be B, but to me it does not look like that B बनाया जा सकता है. But if you think B can be the answer, there is nothing wrong in writing a mail to UCEED. They will definitely respond to your mail. That's exactly what I'm trying to convey. Now, question number 46 is a little controversial. So let's have a look at question number 46. Identify the odd one out. My observation was quite simple. All I'm saying is that they all are either starting or ending with a shape somewhat of this kind. But in option D, I'm not seeing any of this kind of a shape. And that's why option D should be treated as the odd one out. That's the only observation I have. Now, continuing further, this shape, again, this can be done easily. This is again an interesting question. यहाँ पे again letters या fonts change होते जा रहे हैं, rotate होते जा रहे हैं. Along with this, color is also getting faded. तो इसका और faded version मुझे दिखेगा. Option B और C में से कुछ होगा. लेकिन अगर आप letters के rotation को देखें, so C should be preferred. ये एक सिंपल सा जनरल अवेयरनेस और जीके का क्वेश्चन था विच यू शुड हैव अटेम्प्टेड बाय योरसेल्फ। इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने का ऑब्जर्वेशन बड़ा सिंपल सा था विच आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स मस्ट हैव गॉटन। एक बहुत ही सिंपल सा ऑब्जर्वेशन यू शुड हैव मेड। आई होप क्वेश्चन मुझे एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत नहीं है। इफ यू लुक एट दिस, ये इमेज में सिर्फ इतना सा फर्क है कि ये सब एप्पल को पॉइंट आउट कर रहे हैं एक्सेप्ट दिस। आई होप यू आर सीइंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू हाईलाइट कि ये सब एप्पल को पॉइंट आउट कर रहे हैं except option A, I believe, and hence option A should be the odd one out or the incorrect one. थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ेंगे हम क्वेश्चन नंबर आई थिंक 51 we did not discuss this category of these kind of questions we should be able to solve. Till now anything has been found wrong and answer key no Dr. Claw option question number 31 में थोड़ा लोगों को डाउट लग रहा है बेसिकली क्वेश्चन नंबर 32 तो उसके बी ऑप्शन को आप चैलेंज कर सकते हैं अगर आप बना पा रहे हैं तो अदरवाइज आई डोंट थिंक हर्ष अग्रवाल आई थिंक 46 are numbers whole. Okay, with that, I think this is also a very easy question. You could have gotten the answer to it very easily. This is a question based on mirror image, water image, common edge के according आपको mirror and water लानी थी. ऐसे कई सारे questions हमने mocks के वक्त किए हैं, so this need not be discussed here. This again you need to follow or trace these guidelines. उन्हें आप जब trace करेंगे, continue करेंगे, you'll be able to get the shape और उस basis पे आप बहुत easily with the help of given options eliminate करके answer ला सकते हैं. Just hold on a second. Tanisha ma'am, if you want to take the curtain down, you can. And you need not. Chalo. With that, question number 27th ke baad, we have this. I hope this was an easy one. If you observe it a little minutely, what you should have seen here is that it begins with W. So the sequence should begin with W first of all, which we are seeing in all these options. And if it begins with W, it should have at the back of it S, and this is how it is following. It is following, right? So it should be WX, RQPT, UV. So this should end at V. So it should begin with W, and if it begins with W, it should end at V. This is how you could have gotten the answer to this question. This is again a question जहाँ पे आप options की help से इसको eliminate करके figure out कर सकते हैं answer, and this again was a very easy question. With that, next question अगर हम देखें, अब question based on color theory, you all have the knowledge, so use that. Option A should be the correct answer. Why are we saying that? क्योंकि बहुत सिंपल सा ऑब्जर्वेशन है. इसको टाइपोग्राफी के नॉलेज से आप देखें, सो इट शुड हैव कम और ज्यादा irregular thickness, जो ऑप्शन ए में आई एम सी. Question number 30, 59 was a little tricky. This was a very tricky, and to be very honest, even though abhi tak I could not develop a proper technique to explain this question, what I did was immediately what I did, I created this thing with the sheet of the paper, and I obviously dipped it in a ball of water, and I just saw the pattern, and I could see that the pattern was getting created in this circular manner only. When I did it or followed the step one, that's why I'm claiming or saying. जब आप उसे फोल्ड करके देखेंगे तो इसको ट्रायंगुलर शेप दिखेंगे, ये ऐसे ट्रायंगुलर शेप. लेकिन जब आप उसे मतलब ऐसा इतना ही एक्सपांड करके इस मैनर में देखेंगे, so you will not be seeing that. वैसा सर्कुलर शेप ही क्रिएट होगा. फोर शॉर्टनिंग के थ्रू you can explain that. So yes, option A should be marked correctly. With that, if I proceed further, I hope this particular thing is clearly understood by everyone. You all are aware of this कि यहाँ पे जब ये डिजाइन फेस्ट जैसा एक वर्ड हमें दिखाया जा रहा है, तो डिजाइन ऑब्वियसली बड़ा होना चाहिए क्योंकि फोर शॉर्टनिंग हो रही है. दिस पर्सपेक्टिव व्यू इज आल्सो शोन टू यू, एंड फेस्ट बड़ा दिखेगा तब जाकर, क्योंकि वो क्लोज है तो वो डेफिनेटली अपने आप बड़ा दिखेगा. सो दिस option C should have been marked correctly. This again was a very easy question, I believe. Question number 59 I'm asked to explain. I'll check it one more time. Yes, 59 was a little controversial. Sky Potter Hub, yes. Yes, Deepak, 59th was a little difficult one, और इसे imagine करना मुश्किल है क्योंकि I too had to actually fold the sheet and check it कि वो कैसा बनेगा, and I had this facility that I could dip that in water. वो examination और में आपके पास नहीं था, and that's why you cannot do this question. Okay? No worries, everyone. Continuing further. With that, let's see another set of questions. These two were some really simple and easy ones. I hope I need not explain these. There are some really simple questions. This also you should have simply traced and figured out the answer. This 65th question was a very interesting one. थोड़ा सा ये मतलब phonetics say they are playing here with the 69th 65th question. So everyone look at the screen. What are we told? A list of 8 countries names in Vietnamese shown in red and their English translations shown in blue are given below. तो अगर आप trace करना शुरू करें तो मैं highlight करता हूँ. This is AO. Oh, so this could be some country. Oh, abhi I'm not able to figure out, but Balin. So do I have a pronunciation of a country? Because see, they are nouns, and if they are nouns, you know, whichever country pronounces them, they all should, pronounce them similarly, in the same manner. So even, you know, letter wise or language wise, they can be written or expressed in a different manner, but the pronunciation cannot vary, although due to the accent, pronunciation may get varied a little, but yes, up to an extent it will match. At least the rhyming, the ending, the beginning, the stress, that should match. That's the basic science of phonetics, right? And if you use that, uh, this is Balin. And if I see Balin, shall I say it could be Poland, or at least because I'm just focusing much on pronunciation while neglecting or rejecting much of the consonants. I'm focusing more on vowels basically. What do I mean by that? Let me just give you the clarity one more time. This is looking like AO. So this could be Austria, maybe, possibly. Let me just begin with that. For example, this is Denmark. If it is Denmark, shall I say this is Denmark? So if I treat it as one, shall I say this Australia could be this? This is Denmark. Should I say this is Denmark? Similarly, this is Finland. So Finland means what? Finland, I believe. So this, if I call third one, shall I say this is the third one? This is Norway. So shall I say this is Norway? This could be Norway, I think. This is, Holland. And if it is Holland, can it be पोलैंड आई थिंक बिकॉज ये एल ए एन जैसा दिख रहा है अभी एक एजम्पशन पे बात करते हैं देखते हैं देखो दिस इज Sweden and this is Sweden means what I think Sweden I believe so if I call it 5 this should be the fifth one and then what else do or are we left with this is Belgium so shall I say Berlin I think this is Poland it could be Poland right so if this is Berlin can I call it the Poland so this could be Poland what else are we left with we are left with by. So by means it could be Belgium, I think, or Netherlands. Let me just recheck all the letters. How many letters do we have? And how are we matching them up, right? So that we can get the answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries are here. So let me just do it first of all. Let me start or begin with the most common ones because this one was the Denmark. This was one the Denmark, right? This was Norway. This was Norway, right? Then I think I could see this is Sweden, which for me was Sweden. So this should be the Sweden. Then we have Finland. So shall I get this should be or this would have been the Finland. This would be the fourth one. This could be Holland and Poland. So I think this could have been the Poland, I think. And this was the Austria. So O and it could be Austria. So this is how we could have continued sixth one. Now what do we have or what are we left with? I think we are left with Berlin and By. So shall I say By could be Belgium and Berlin could be Netherlands, but again it's quite difficult for me to speak, but it could be Netherlands, right? Okay, so Deepak Naik, this for this question you should get in touch with the drawing faculty and I think he'll be able to get you help you. So अगर मैं ध्यान से देखूं correct options को तो ध्यान से देखिए. I think the only correction we need here is I think Netherlands is Holland and that's why they are calling it Hall. So this could not be 8. This should have been different one. Holland should have been the Netherlands one. And that's how I am rejecting it. And Poland should be Berlin. I repeat, Berlin, Poland. So this is how this could have been the 8th one, ऐसे करके, and this should have been the Holland one, the 5th one. So this should have been the correction. And on that basis, I think अभी काफी हद तक sorted है. Yes, the only reason is that I think उस basis पे option B होगा क्योंकि Holland is Netherlands, AO is Austria and Berlin is Poland. Option A में अगर मैं देखूँ so अभी पोलैंड को हमने बैलिन बोला है दैट्स व्हाई ऑप्शन ए इस बेसिस पर रिजेक्ट हो जाएगा ऑप्शन सी में बाय इज बेल्जियम एच ए इज फिनलैंड नो इट इज नॉट फिनलैंड फिनलैंड इज फिनलैंड इज डिफरेंट, सो उस बेसिस पे हम फिनलैंड को रिजेक्ट कर सकते हैं. एंड ऑप्शन बी रिजेक्ट करने का, एन वाइज नीदरलैंड नहीं, ये नॉर्वे था, एंड दैट्स व्हाई ऑप्शन बी शुड बी मार्क करेक्टली. आई होप यू ऑल हैव अंडरस्टूड द एक्सप्लेनेशन. Continuing further, थोड़ा और ध्यान से देखिए. This question was a very easy one. I hope you all must have cracked it. I'm skipping it right now. Question number 67, I believe, was again an easy one. देखो, वो पूछ रहा है फिगर पी शोज अ बस जो सर्कुलर व्हील के साथ फ्लैट रोड पे चलती है, बट वो आपसे ऑप्शंस के थ्रू पूछ रहा है कि जो भी रोड्स आपको दिए जा रहे हैं उनमें से बिना स्लिप किए, इफ द व्हील ऑलवेज मूव्स विदाउट स्लिपिंग और स्लाइडिंग, तो स्लाइड नहीं करता है, स्लिप भी नहीं करता है. वो पूछ रहा है कौन सा ऑप्शन एक बम्पीएस्ट राइड, सबसे ज्यादा बम्पीएस्ट राइड रहेगा. आई थिंक सब कुछ बम्पी है, बट बम्पीएस्ट कौन सा होगा, विच विल हैव द मोस्ट अप्स एंड डाउन्स, दैट्स व्हाट दे आर आस्किंग यू. सो इफ यू सिंपली इवैल्यूएट इट, बहुत सीधा सीधा सा डेटा है. दिस विल सिंपली कीप रोलिंग. आई होप यू कैन इमेजिन दिस गेटिंग रोल्ड. दिस इज ऑल्सो हैविंग इट्स कर्वेचर, जैसा यहाँ दिख रहा है. ऑप्शन बी भी बहुत आराम से स्मूथली इन कर्व पे फिट हो जाएगा. ऑप्शन डी विल हैव द बम्पीएस्ट क्योंकि इसकी हाइट सबसे ज्यादा है. सो यहाँ जाएगा पीक, फिर वापस टॉप पे जाएगा, फिर ऐसे. So it will have the highest, the most bumpiness. So that's why I'm saying that this is how 67th question could have been done. 68th was a simple one. अगर ये दोनों रोटेट होंगे, ये इधर रोटेट होगा तो ये इधर रोटेट होगा, बट अगर ये इधर रोटेट होगा तो ये इधर रोटेट होगा, दोनों अंदर की तरफ या दोनों एक साथ बाहर की तरफ. On that basis, intermittently, anti-clockwise should have been the answer. So I believe I have answered all the questions and there are no doubts left. The only question which we found challenging was question number 32, जिसके option B को लेके a lot of students have claimed कि question का ये option होना चाहिए. इसके अलावा किसी और question में किसी को लगता है, feel free to ask. I hope all the other questions we have discussed and there are no doubts left. If you have any other queries, do write it in the chat box. I'm still here for another 2 minutes. Then we'll call it a day. So quickly write your queries and concerns in the chat box. I'm open for answering. So if you have any doubts, any queries, do write them in the chat box. I'll be answering them. They should be related to UCEED basically, first of all. And if there are no doubts, we shall be calling it a day here. "32" I have already answered. Sky Potter Hub की 32 answer. अगर आपको लगता है, write a mail to the UCEED people. They will be addressing it. 59th हम एक बार देख सकते हैं. I think 59th, as I've already told you, was a little controversial. मैंने check किया खुद से करके and then I got it. But yes, I too personally don't have a proper explanation for this. I did it by myself. Practically, I crafted this and I checked it. And yes, I got option by practically performing it. I think there is no other doubt left. Anything else which anyone would like to ask, or shall we call it a day here? Great. So with that, I believe all the queries are answered. You must have learned and got your doubts cleared. The final conclusion of this UCEED live lecture would be this. The only question which can be challenged, although that too you are asking or wanting to be challenged, from my perspective, I don't see anything which is challenging or which can be challenged here. 32 option B, a lot of students are believing should be challenged, but from my perspective, I don't think anything problematic with that, and hence it should be simply avoided. So calling it a day. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.